Because bitch, it's okay, and welcome back. I am your host, Neither Brad, aka Nye, and this is Bitch It's Okay podcast because bitch, it is okay. And today's topic is a long overdue subject that I have been battling with myself personally, um, physically, mentally, internally, to talk about because every time I felt like I would start to talk about it, I would get upset or overwhelmed. So we're gonna try our best today to share this story. Um, y'all know I'm very transparent. I'm a very open book, and I just feel like this episode could really help those who are currently battling depression right now as we speak, or those who have overcame it and are starting to slip back into that dark place in their life. So I don't know if y'all have seen the title by now, but the title of this podcast for today is How I Overcame My Depression in 6 months. Um, let's just say that well, before we even get into that, I just want to start off by saying that this is my personal journey of depression. Um, Everything that happened will make sense at the end. I'm sitting here fidgeting with my fingers trying to tell the story, child. Lord. If I get emotional, I'm just going to be emotional. I'm not going to edit anything out. I'm not going to cut anything out. You know, this is a very raw and transparent podcast over here. And it's just, I don't want to hide any part of how I'm feeling currently as I'm talking, because it's just important to just bask in your current energy. So let's just get into it. So for those of you that know me, I was attending Rowan University last year as a biochemistry student. I no longer attend there. But when I was there, that whole year definitely changed my life. It was a lot of things that kept adding and piling onto my depression. And I'm not going to lie to y'all, I didn't think that I was going to get out of it. I didn't think that I would be here to tell my story. It's just one of those things that you go through that really just seem dark. It's such a dark thing to experience. It's such a dark place. And I really didn't believe that there was light at the end of the tunnel, but thank God for my strength and my willpower to just want to get out of that and just change. Not everybody is mentally capable of making such a strong decision like that. So, kudos to you who are just like me and, wanted to just get out of it and, just got tired of feeling how you were feeling in such a dark place. But it basically started back in October. And y'all are probably like, nah, October, it's June now. But not even just that, like, I feel like once my depression started, I didn't even know that I was depressed, if we're going to be honest. This basically, give me a second. Okay, so it started like in October, like I said. And, one day I got a call from my mentor, but I was, obviously asleep. She called me at 10 a.m. I wasn't answering my phone at 10 a.m., even if I was awake. I'm not a morning person, or at least then I wasn't. So, then I seen her text and she was like, hey, good morning. I need to call you and talk to you. Is there a time that we can talk? I had class that morning. So I'm like, hey, we can talk after my class. She's like, okay, cool. So I went to class got canceled. So then I come back. I tried to call her. She didn't answer. She said she was in a meeting. I'm like, okay. Then she calls me back. So she's like, hi, Nasha, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good. It's a good day. It's a new day. I finally got the strength to, go to class and just be present in the moment. And she proceeds to basically say that she can no longer mentor me. Now, that hurt my feelings. I'm not going to lie. Like, I know a lot of people like to be tough and like to not admit when their feelings are hurt, but that hurt my feelings because I just felt like, I have never been a part of a mentorship that, really made me think outside the box when it came to my business and be surrounded by a community of women my age and older that actually, all saw the end goal, which was to be financially free and live our lives to the fullest. And I was really shocked. I was taken aback. I didn't know how to take that because it's like, how have you been mentoring me for this long and now you don't want to mentor me? So she proceeds to go on to say that basically she's seen me buy a digital product from one of my favorite entrepreneurs, who I'm not going to say who. And she just felt like she was already teaching that subject and there was no need for me to go out and buy this particular entrepreneur's product, and went on to say that they were involved in some BS, which I don't know how you're keeping up with somebody to be that involved in their life. That anyway, she just basically didn't like the fact that I was showing another entrepreneur love. And I don't care how anybody spins it. That's like me teaching TikTok, right? And one of my mentees goes and purchases a digital ebook about TikTok from somebody else. And I call them and say, hey, I'm not mentoring you no more. And there was no reason for you to buy that when I've already given you the tools that you need to be successful. One thing a lot of people that sell digital products don't understand is that you're not the only person that can teach. Am I right? Am I wrong? You're not the only person that can teach that. If I can teach TikTok the way that I can teach TikTok to whoever, and that's not enough for them, and they want to go ahead and get another product that they feel like will be more useful and helpful to them on top of the knowledge that I've already given them, who am I to stop them from doing that? You get what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like it was bullshit. Yes, I was going through a lot at that time. First of all, I had just got back into college, which that alone was a whole fucking, like, that was a whole thing. And then, but my mentor knew that, like, you're not putting any money towards my business. You're not funding it. You're not helping me. Not that I need any of that, but it's like, don't sit here and tell me what I can and cannot buy. Don't monitor my pockets, because I've never monitored your pockets and I've never done anything like that to you. Like, that's just weird. She also said that my business wasn't going anywhere and I wasn't making any money. Again, I'm a college student with no income because I wasn't even influencing at that time in my life. I'm finally getting comfortable and getting settled with my new situation. And that was just out of pocket, out of line. Like, I hate a motherfucker that starts to make some money and then just thinks that because they got money, that they can talk to you any kind of way or look down at you or try to make you feel less than, like, you're not doing enough. And she was partially right. I wasn't doing enough. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. I wasn't too concerned or focused on my business, but I was doing what I could at that time. And see, that's what people's problems is. You don't know what a motherfucker go through on a daily basis. And little do you know that one thing that you thought was okay to say to them could send them over the edge. So, she basically, to sum it up, was like, don't be a stranger. Let's still keep in contact. I don't fucking know why you thought I would be in contact with you after you just told me that my business wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't doing anything with it. And you were pissed off because I bought another entrepreneur's ebook about something that you were covering in the mentorship. And I just felt as though that wasn't enough. So I took my money investing in my business and purchased a new ebook. It wasn't that serious. That's kind of what started all this. And not too many people know this. And I'm not afraid to share this story. So it is what it is. Like, that, from that day forward, I just vowed that if I did ever get another mentor again, that I would really just do my research and, I wouldn't put all of my time and effort into something when that was the end result of it for me. So that was that. And I'm not going to lie, like, I had to call a few people because I'm like, am I tripping? Like, was I wrong or was she wrong? Because I just felt like, you ever get disrespected and you have to question it, like, well, did I do something wrong? Or was I out of line? Was I out of pocket? And then I had to look at it like, she was dead ass wrong. that was unnecessary as fuck. And for you to be a quote unquote mentor, that's not how you talk to somebody within your mentorship. You get what I'm saying? You already knew. It's not like what I was going through was, not apparent. We were so close in the mentorship that there were plenty of times where we talked about our lives individually outside of entrepreneurship. So how dare you then say you're not doing enough? Your business isn't going anywhere. Who the fuck are you? Anyways, so like I said, I called a few people that day to, get my head screwed on back on straight, because that stung a little. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that really fucking stung. And the fact that you were gonna call me or try to call me at 10 o'clock in the morning to tell me that you were no longer going to mentor me, like, why would I want to start my day off with that kind of negativity? And the fact that you were even so comfortable with doing that at that time of morning is crazy. Like, you really woke up and was like, I'm going to tell her that I'm no longer going to mentor her, and I'm going to say this, this, and this, not knowing how those words were going to affect me. I'm almost certain she went on about her day like nobody's fucking business. And that's what people's problems. And I get so tired of encountering people in my life and allowing them into my space to where they do me wrong and they get to sleep peacefully at night. They don't toss, they don't turn, they sleep peacefully, easy at night. And I'm over here trying to pick up the pieces in tears or upset or bothered. And it's like, you know what? I'm a eat your, I'm gonna make you eat them words, babe. I promise you, I'm gonna make you eat those words. So, we were following each other on social media. I gradually unfollowed her, and I just never looked back. I never look back. I don't see how in the hell you expect me to still support you, to still be there and present for you when you literally just shitted on. Like, that for you to even expect me to still keep in contact with you was crazy. So that's kind of how my October started as far as my depression was concerned. That was definitely a trigger that fucked me up, because it was so unexpected. I was already dealing with a lot of shit, and not gonna lie, that right there was low-key the tip of my depression starting. Nobody knows this. I've never shared this story on any of my platforms, but I needed to get that out there because that was the start of my depression. Anyways, moving on. Excuse me. So in that same month, I was having problems with my roommate. We weren't seeing eye to eye, and she just kept doing shit that was pissing me off. Like, I hate when I set a boundary and a motherfucker that's supposed to be cool with you keeps continuously crossing that boundary. I feel like, me personally, if you're in my circle and I've known you long enough to know like what makes you tick and what makes you angry, and you know that for me, vice versa, that you shouldn't dare do what I don't like. Like, more is expected out of you when you know me well enough to know. And that was also my fault for thinking that she knew me well enough to realize that the shit that she was doing was fucking ridiculous. But yeah, I was having problems with my roommate. To make a long story short, we got into it because one morning she woke me up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I had a 10 a.m. I had an 11 a.m. chem class. She woke me up at 8 o'clock in the morning to ask me to use my debit card to get out of the garage at Rowan because she didn't have a parking pass. My problem is this. One, I'm not a morning person, and I've already established that with you. And this is not your first time waking me up. That was her second time waking me up out of my sleep because she was being inconvenienced. And that's something that I noticed that she does a lot in her life with her family and friends. Whenever she's inconvenienced, she goes out of her way to inconvenience those around her. Everybody's basically supposed to suffer because of her. And I fucking hated that, because I'm not that person that is going to suffer with you. Like, I'm so sorry that you're currently being inconvenienced, but I wouldn't dare do that to somebody. You get what I'm saying? I was already failing that class. I was already missing class because I was sick for a period of time, which was another add-on to my depression starting. I had got really, really sick in the month of, at the end of September, in the beginning of October, as all this is going on, mind you. I had a really, really bad sinus infection. I didn't go to class. I didn't do anything. I barely ate. I barely slept. And when I did sleep, it was bad. But anyways, so she, went out of her way to wake me up at 8 in the morning. The problem is, if you had asked me for my card in the morning, well, first of all, fuck that. Why don't you have the bread on your card already? And that's what I hated about the peer mediation, which I'm going to get into, because everybody was making it seem like I was wrong for not doing what she asked, as if I still did what she needed. Like, despite her pissing me off and waking me up bright as fuck in the morning, I still went out of my way to help her. And that still wasn't enough. So again, besides her not having money on her card, shit happens. I'm not worried about that. But it's the fact that the night before, you could have said, nah, leave your card out so I can, use your card, give it back to you, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't have minded that, because you didn't have to wake me up for that. I already know you're using my card. You're going to bring it back. Boom. Period. That's all that needed to be said. You didn't let me know shit. You waited until the day of, and she waited till the day of, and I had a problem with that, because like I said, I was already failing that class. I was barely in the class to be present, to soak in the information, which is why I was failing. And I was already starting to be depressed, and I was sick. So you going out of your way to inconvenience me at 8 in the morning, and I'm already having a hard time getting to this early class, was enough. So she did what she did or whatever. I gave her my card. She got out the garage, woke me up, blah, blah, blah. Pissed me off so bad. So throughout the day, I'm pissed, because it's like, this is how my day is starting. Like, I'm not feeling too good. You're already doing too much. It's too fucking much going on. So I, text my friend at the time, like, should I say something? Because it's just like, this is your second time doing this. And I'm so tired of you inconveniencing me because you are having problems. So my friend was just like, yeah, tell her how you feel, whatever. So I did. I texted her. I'm like, hey, like, I love you to death, but you keep inconveniencing me, and I'm fucking tired of it. Stop going out of your way to wake me up out of my sleep because you can't figure shit out. And then she started to be manipulative, like, oh, I didn't know it was an issue. And, oh, I didn't even know that you were upset. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Stop telling people that you don't think is that big of a deal when they're expressing to you that it was a big deal. It clearly is a problem if I'm literally sitting here telling you, hey, you hurt me. This is a problem. Hey, you're inconveniencing me. This is a problem. I don't know what didn't register in her head and what that was all about, but it gets worse. So I posted on social media. I don't know if y'all remember me posting this on my social media one day, but I was basically like, don't nobody fucking talk to me. I've been inconvenienced. Leave me alone. And everybody scrolled past that. I didn't have a lick of a soul swipe up like, oh my gosh, nah, who the fuck you talking about? Bitch, who this shade towards? Like, nobody said anything. And yes, that was very passive aggressive of me. And like I said, throughout this whole discussion of me telling y'all how depressed I was, I'm taking accountability for my actions as well. So, I posted that. It was passive aggressive, what the fuck ever, right? So as the day goes on, I start to, feel a little bit better, because I don't like being mad all day. I'm not going to let this ruin my day. It happened. I can't change it. But we're going to move forward by me again, laying down this boundary. Hey, do not wake me up in the morning. I do enough for my friends that y'all can give me the leeway of not waking me up at 7 o'clock in the morning because something is wrong. I'm sure that you have other people in your life that are there for you at that time. I'm just not that friend. And I will be a horrible friend to tell you that I'm going to be that friend, and I can't be that to you. You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I didn't already establish this between her. She knew I wasn't a morning person. We were completely opposite, and that was fine with me. But all I'm asking is, if you are going to be a morning person, respect my boundaries as well of me not being one. You get what I'm saying? So the day goes on. I start to feel better. I come home. I start doing homework in my living room, as I always did. She comes in with our mutual friend. They say hi, whatever. They're about to go to the gym, blah, blah, blah. Cool. My roommate takes a shower. They go to the gym. Boom. It's whatever. I'm still doing my homework. I didn't want to go to the gym with them. It was just too much. Like, I just didn't want to be around any of that. So, they go to the gym. My roommate comes back. She takes a shower again. And, she's on her way out the door. She's like, hey, I'm about to go to Chick-fil-A. So I'm like, all right, we cool, we chilling, the shit's over with. You know, I'll come with you type shit, like I always do. She quickly spins around and she's like, okay, but I need to get this off my chest because if I don't, I'm going to be really upset. Like, and she's walking towards me like she's trying to fight or something. So I'm like looking at her like, this bitch can't be serious, bro. We're not about to sit here and do this. Like, this literally gave me PTSD of when I first went to DSU when I was having problems with my roommate. Like, I just was so over it at this point, and I'm really fucking surprised that I held my composure this entire time. So I sit down or whatever, and I'm just eyeing her because I'm like, girl, if you want to do all that, like, I got a drink right here that I could kindly throw on you. We could just be slipping aside and across this floor. Like, we're going to have this conversation, but we're going to be civil about it. So I'm going to need you to sit, you know, chill out. So how the conversation went, I'm sitting down in front of my computer. The table is here, and then she's in front of the table standing or whatever by the door, which was fine because she's on her way out the door or whatever. So she's like, you basically, you know, she's seen what I posted on Instagram, and she's like, nah, that's foul. I don't even do the social media shit. You don't talk shit about your friends on social media. It wasn't that deep. I didn't even know that I bothered you. Da 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 da. So much was wrong with everything that she was saying right there alone. You knew I had a problem with it because I texted you early that same morning and told you that I had a problem with it, and you dismissed it. You dismissed what I was saying to you so bad to the point that you contacted our mutual friend to talk to her about the situation. So let's not sit here and act like you didn't know what was going on and you didn't know that I was upset and I didn't express that to you. I did, via text message and to your face. I hate when people try to make it seem like I don't be saying anything or I don't know, but like, let's not do that. Because I promise you, if you look at your text messages right now, you'll see that. You responded, hello? Secondly, the social media shit. What social media shit was you talking about? Nobody knows you for this to be social media shit, one. And two, it wasn't no social media shit. I was being passive aggressive. That's all I did. You're lucky that's all I did. You act like I got on social media and was like, I'm so sick and tired of my raggedy ass roommate. She always doing too much, making me up and shit, stupid bit. Like, I didn't even go as far as doing all of that because I still somewhat had some respect for you and you clearly had none for me. So, you know, I'm basically telling her like how I felt, like, you fucked up again. You keep crossing this boundary and I keep telling you to stop doing it and you keep going out of your way to doing it. Then we get to basically her manipulating and gaslighting me, talking about now I know that you're not the friend that I could call on and I needed you. It shouldn't have mattered. Da, 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 da. I understand that. But again, I've already made it very clear. I'm not that person that you can call on at the crack of dawn. I'm already battling my own issues. Bitch, I'm sick. You are responsible for yourself at the end of the day. You should have first of all, you should have got a parking pass for the year. I don't know why you didn't get one, but that's on you. Like, you see how all these decisions that you should have made prior to me even coming in the picture, and now that I'm in your picture, you keep going out of your way to inconvenience me because you're not doing what the fuck you're supposed to do as a grown adult, bro. So at this point, I'm telling her how I feel. She keeps being manipulative and gaslighting me. So I start doing my homework because I'm not listening to you. I'm literally taking my time to express to you what you're doing wrong, and you don't even have the decency to fucking listen to me. So I start doing my work. That pissed her off. She starts going off. And this is right here, you're being rude and you're not paying no attention. Why am I going to sit here and listen to you talk until my ears bleed when I'm literally repeating myself, telling you what is wrong and you're not listening? You keep dummying it down to you needed me and now I'm not the friend that you can call on. You knew that I wasn't the friend that you could call on. It would be different if I said that I was going to be there when I wasn't. But the fact that you went out of your way to inconvenience me and I was still there for your ass is fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Like, give a bitch some goddamn credit. You knew that you couldn't call on me, and that's fine. Not everybody is getting up at the crack of dawn. At least me, I wasn't doing that back then. Everybody knew that, and there was nothing wrong with that. You were the only person that had a problem with that, which is why you kept going out of your way to inconvenience me. So to make a long story short, we end up starting to argue because Now my body, my demon is coming out. My demon is literally defrosting. And I'm on demon time. Like, now I want to fight. I don't even want to talk because you're being disrespectful. You're fucking yelling. And not only that, we were having a civilized conversation to now our roommates are coming out of their each individual rooms to see what the fuck is going on because you're acting like an ass. Bro, as soon as I seen one of my male roommates come out of the room, I swear to God, I wanted to hook her. I promise you I wanted to hook her. But I was like, you know what? I can't just hook off on people. I'm old enough to know that I cannot hit on people when I'm angry. I'm in college. I fought my ass off to get back in school. I cannot let no bitch ruin that, period. So, you know, she storms out the door, screaming, crying, slamming doors and shit. I almost went after her ass. She's really lucky that I didn't, because I promise you I would have tore her up. I would have tore her up so bad. Oh my God, I would have tore her up so bad. But I let her have that. So I ended up calling my people at the time or whatever, explaining to them what was going on. I called my friend at the time. She ends up coming to my crib and we have a peer mediation. Our mutual friend comes up first after all this BS. And, you know, but before that, I caught my friend up to speed on what was going on. And basically my roommate had called my friend on some sneak tip stuff, trying to basically like tell her side of the story before I could share mine. First of all, that's not your friend. I don't know why you called her. Yes, we're all mutually friends, but don't call my friend trying to, you know, tell your side of the story with knowing that you were dead ass wrong. Anyways, so, you know, shit gets cool down after like maybe 30 minutes to an hour. Everybody comes back. But, you know, up first, our mutual friend comes up first. She's telling us my roommate's side of the story, how she feels and her input and stuff. And at that time, my mutual friend, she seemed like she had her head screwed on straight. What the fuck happened in peer mediation? I don't know. Because to make a long story short, everything that she had said before my roommate came upstairs, she doubled back on that. So my roommate was basically acting like she just needed all this space and time and she needed to cool off. I'm not understanding what you're mad about when this is about me. How did we get from you inconveniencing me and now you're upset? You have nothing to be upset about. Like, the Instagram post was the Instagram post. Nobody knew it was about you but you. Yes, it was passive aggressive as fuck, but let's not sit here and act like you didn't just ruin one of my boundaries. Like, you just violated one of my boundaries once again, and this is not your first time. So if anything, I should be upset. You should not be upset right now. So we all, you know, convened for the peer mediation in my living room in my apartment. And to basically make a long story short of how that peer mediation turned out, it was all being blamed on me. I should have never made the Instagram post. That was shady as fuck. It was passive aggressive. We don't talk shit about our friends on social media. Blah, 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 blah. Me home, me no neon. What's really crazy about this peer mediation, she literally said multiple times, she's not a fake ass bitch and she's not going to apologize. She's not sorry for what she did. And yet somehow this whole peer mediation was about that stupid ass Instagram post I made. Like, be fucking for real, bro. Come on. Like, there's no way the whole peer mediation got made about the Instagram post. Even my friend at the time said that was wrong of me to post. It was passive aggressive, but I didn't say anything. I didn't call my roommate out of her name. I didn't tag her in it. I didn't say anything about her. And by looking at the post generally, clearly, I wasn't talking about nobody because nobody swiped up. Everybody will swipe up on your story when they see some tea, or some drama. It was no drama, no tea. So that peer mediation pissed me off because it was just like, it's no way we are discussing this Instagram post that's pointless to the fucking story and not getting on how this bitch keeps on disrespecting me and I'm supposed to just allow it? No. So I basically at the end of the peer mediation was like, you know, I need my space, I need my time. They thought that I was going to be their friend the next day because they invited me to parties and kept inviting me and I kept like standing by my lonely on my dolo shit. Like, no, I'm not going out with y'all. If I just sat here and damn near almost cussed you out and still kind of want to fight you, why would I be outside with you? we're not cool. I'm not cool with neither one of y'all because the mutual friend was dicking and not holding my roommate accountable. And then you as my roommate, something's just wrong with you. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I don't want to be a part of it. We can't be friends. And I guess motherfuckers just thought that because I was friendless, I was lonely all the time and I just wasn't, I don't know, gonna go anywhere. You snooze, you fucking lose, bitch. Cause I was definitely outside. But anyways, so that happened in October, on top of my mentor telling me that she could no longer mentor me, on top of this bad sinus infection that I had for almost a month. Right. And bro, when I say October really felt like hell, it felt like hell. Like I really genuinely felt like it felt like hell on earth. Like how earth feels right now at this moment with all this stuff going on, that's literally how October for me felt. I was so depressed and sad that I didn't even enjoy the homecoming festivities that everyone had. And granted, there weren't much, and it was nothing like Del State, obviously. Like it could never be a comparison between the two. But I didn't even go to like the yard fest thing with the Greeks and stuff, and like everybody was outside. Like I didn't do anything. I literally came home, was at home in my bed with my blacked out curtains, just sulking, really sad. I didn't have the energy to be outside and have a good time and party and stuff like that. It was so bad, y'all. It was so bad. It trickled on into November where I still kind of wasn't like, I didn't have the motivation to get up every single day. I literally would get up, brush my teeth, wash my face, shower, sit out in the living room for maybe 5 minutes, go back in my room, go back to sleep. Some days I would just wake up and turn back over and go back to sleep. I didn't have the motivation, the desire to do anything. It was so bad. I wasn't even eating. I was barely eating. And if I did, I only ate because I was high as fuck. And that's a habit that I ended up picking up, unfortunately. One day, my friend was basically, I had left her for something. I had left her, I think, to go to my apartment for something. And I told her, like, roll up when I come back. And she was like, yeah, I'll roll up for you, whatever, because I didn't know how to roll. So I came back to her apartment, whatever, and she was basically like, I don't feel like rolling. That pissed me off so bad because it was just like, I hate when motherfucker don't stand on a word, but whatever, it literally pushed me to learn how to roll on my own. So once I, started to practice how to roll up my own blunts, I just started smoking like crazy. I started, influencing a little bit, taking projects here and there from when I was feeling up to it, but most days I wasn't feeling up to it. Like it was so hard to put my face in front of the camera for YouTube, for TikTok, which is why if you probably go back or look back at those videos, I probably didn't even look depressed, but I'm gonna have to do that myself to see if I could see it. But yeah, like it was just bad. So, I kind of thank her for pushing me to learn how to roll my own because I've always wanted to learn how to roll. I just never picked up the habit after I left Del State or after, high school, whatever. I didn't start smoking until I was 18. But once I left Del State, I just stopped smoking altogether. I just picked up that habit of smoking, and smoking at first, it was, cool. Like when I first mastered my first blunt, like I was stoked as fuck. Like, yeah, I can roll, stop playing. Like now I don't gotta wait on nobody to roll. Like I've always been like the princess when it came to blunts. Like my blunts was always rolled for me, was always given to me, or I always was getting pre-rolled blunts, but I would at least supply the wrap or the weed. Okay, like we're not smoking and I can't roll what I'm not providing. Okay, I was either providing the weed or the wrap or the weed. It was vice versa. It didn't matter. Okay, that was the rotation that I had with my people. So I learned how to roll, and over time, smoking started to help my depression. I was already doing hookah from the summer, but hookah is more of an expensive habit to have than weed. Weed is just, you buy your wraps, you buy your weed, but with hookah,
You gotta buy the shisha, and the shisha alone be like anywhere from 15 to maybe like $25 max. You gotta get your hookah tips. the foil. Like, hookah is an expensive ass habit to have.
So yes, y'all, I just started to smoke like crazy. It started out with like one blunt, a day or every other day. And then I I got so depressed that I was at least hitting 4 or 5 blunts a day. Like I was spending hella bread on weed and rap, and it was so bad. It was so bad. And I didn't mind it. Like being high just felt good at the time. Like I was it being high would spark this creativity that I had and just keep me consistently creative. Like I would come up with some dope ass ideas for my business and, just go crazy, brainstorming, writing stuff down and, trying to see my visions come to life. So, you know, I think our refunds had hit, and despite me being depressed, I ended up spending like a little bag, I think like over $1,000 maybe, or some inventory to restock, because I hadn't restocked since earlier that year. And I just wanted to give my customers, something to look forward to, despite me being depressed. Like social media is never going to stop because you're depressed or you're sad or you're in your bag. And I had to learn that, even though I don't want to show up, I have to show up. Like you really have to sometimes fake it till you make it. And I feel like that's probably what I did, which is why not too many people caught on to me being depressed unless I vocally expressed that, which you weren't getting that out of me, because vocally expressing that I'm depressed and, just expressing my feelings, period, was just so fucking hard. So, I did that, but I sat on my inventory. I didn't really promote it too much. I promoted it here and there, like when I first got it, when I was really excited, but depression was kicking my ass. It went from me being excited to now I can barely get up out of bed. And I don't want to do anything. I just want to smoke and do whatever it is that I got to do and just sleep. It was just a constant toxic cycle for me. My birthday came up. I didn't have any money. And I was just, me and my friend at the time, we were having a conversation. And I was just saying how, like, I wanted to make some money. I wanted to get back in my bag. My birthday was literally within a few days. I wasn't excited. I didn't have anything planned. I just wanted, I don't know, like I just wanted better for myself. And I didn't know how I was going to get that with the habits that I had developed. And it was going to be hard to break those habits, because once you start doing something for a long time and your body gets used to it, and then it's kind of hard for you to break that bad habit. So literally the day before my birthday, I had scored a brand deal with a Black-owned business, per. I have bought me a little bottle, and me and my friend, we had brought in my birthday together at 12. We sparked a blunt and everything, just having a vibing session. And that's probably one thing that I'll miss about our friendship, was how like we could smoke and vibe. And I mean vibe like crazy. Like we could both sing. She's an amazing singer. I could sing a little bit. Y'all don't know that, but I sing. If you see me on TikTok live and see me singing, your girl got a little pipe to her. But we would just vibe. The energy was always there, but we'll get into that, how that ended in a second. But it was really sweet. Like I never had anybody, bring in my birthday. I got some really sweet birthday messages, and it kind of just grounded me to just enjoy this day. Like I only get celebrated once a year. So, if I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna, do it big for your girl. So I ended up coming home on my birthday for winter break. I didn't stay at my apartment for winter break. I came home. I got my hair done. And my birthday was, I'm not gonna lie, my birthday was really depressing. Like, yes, I got a cake and balloons, but my balloons had flown out the window. I didn't get a chance to do what I wanted to for my birthday. I got my hair done. Um, but it was just like, I felt on my birthday, that was just the one day that I wanted to spend time with whoever I could spend time with. And I didn't get a chance to do that. I'm learning that what are those called? Love languages. One of my main love languages is quality time. I love spending quality time with somebody that I'm close to. And um, it just didn't happen. So the next day, I believe I had just got super drunk. Did I have a hosting? I had got my first hosting. Nobody knew about that. I posted about it, but I didn't make it a big deal because yeah, I was excited, but at the same time, like I'm depressed. And I feel like the last time I was super depressed, which was in college at DSU, I drank my problems away. Um, I don't look at it as me being an alcoholic, but now that I look back at it, I guess you could say I kind of was because I drunk every weekend. Like every weekend from Thursday to Sunday, I was drinking my ass off, and it was what the fuck it was. Like I didn't care, and I'll never forget. Somebody had called me an alcoholic jokingly, and I got really, really defensive. So yeah, I guess you could say your girl was an alcoholic. But I had went to this little hosting or whatever, and the girls that were there, like we had fun all night. Like I literally still got footage from this day. No, we're not still in contact with each other, but I just felt so. Excuse me. I felt so celebrated. I just felt like for those 24 hours of everything going on and stuff like that, like it was nice that I had things done for me and that I was, kind of celebrated. Um, and then, Christmas came around. Christmas is very emotional for me because I haven't had a Christmas since, girl, I can't tell you the last time a bitch had a Christmas. Did I get stuff for Christmas? I think I did, not too much, but I got, enough. At this point, holidays are no longer in charge of our holidays are no longer in my parents' control. It's up to me now that I'm grown. So that kind of sucks. If you do have parents that still do for you for the holidays like Easter, Christmas, and the little holidays, please, 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 please appreciate that, because some of us are out here still wanting an Easter basket or a Christmas present wrapped up under the tree with some cookies, out waiting for Santa. That's my inner child talking. I'm sorry. I can't really remember too much about Christmas. But I think Christmas was pretty good this year. I got me some antlers, some really, really cute Christmas pajamas, some candles, just, some regular shit. Then the new year came. 2022 started and my whole life changed. In January of this year, I had made the most money that I've ever made in my life as an influencer. I had made over or just about $2,000 in a month. My first brand deal of the year on January 1st, 2021 was with Teeny Blend. I meant 2022, y'all. Y'all know what I meant. And I was just in such shock because I ended off my year 2021 ended really shitty for me. And to start off the new year, this year, with such positivity and financial gain, I just knew that I had to get out of my depression. I had to get out of it. It was no ifs, ands, or buts. I needed to start breaking these badass habits so I could get to the lifestyle that I had been busting my ass for. So, I just took that as a sign to take influencing serious. I had literally just raised my prices too. I think at the time I was charging like $500 for promo. I don't even charge that anymore. I'm damn near at $1,000 now. And my prices are about to go up because but January rolled around, I had made some money and I was feeling better. Like I got my hair done, I was getting my nails done, my brows done, my nose was pierced. I just was starting to take care of myself physically. Because one thing I know for me, like when my hair is done, I feel so bad. Like I'm already a bad bitch, but like it's nothing like getting your hair touched up or done, like you just turn into a whole different person. And I had realized that in order for me to really get out of my depression, I needed to transform myself into the woman that I wanted to show up as every single day. Now, of course, I had to budget, getting my nails and my hair done because stuff like that is expensive, which is why, if you ever notice, 9 times out of 10, I'm rocking my puff. I will rock my puff with no baby hairs, curls for the girls. I'm natural because, sometimes we can't afford to get our hair done. We can't afford to get our nails done, and that's fine. But I would rather be in the house looking crazy, doing shit, so then when it is time for me to pop out and I look good, I got all this shit done. Well, bitch, it's worth it because you didn't do what the fuck you need to do and you sitting on something. So do what the fuck you need to do. You get what I'm saying? So I basically, I guess you could say I was a little hair brand ambassador for a couple months. So I kept getting my hair done. I got my hair done, nails done. And I love that. I love that. Like, I love getting dolled up. Oh my God. Like 99% of the time I probably look like a bum, but that 1%, baby, gonna eat every fucking time. Every time. Every time. So I started to see like changes in my behavior. Like, I wasn't sleeping as long. I was still smoking heavily, but I was also starting to take breaks. I would go like a week without smoking or 3 days. And that's probably not a lot to y'all, but it was something to just, be a placeholder for that time, because from August to October, I was smoking hookah heavily. I was smoking hookah hella hard, and I was smoking weed. So, that was a lot. So I completely cut hookah out, and I was still smoking, but I was starting to take breaks when I smoked. So yeah, I had got my hair done in February, which was cute. That little red wig that everybody loves. A Black-owned business scammed me. I should have known to not work with her when she first asked me, could I change the price because she was selling an expensive wig. Let me tell y'all something. When y'all sell hair, right? We already know hair is expensive, but we also know that business owners get hair at a wholesale price, right? What you're responsible for as a business owner, which is like, the inventory that you hold, your prices, that's all on you. That has nothing to do with the influencer that you're seeking out. If you are a brand ambassador for a hair company or any company at all, you should not be paying them to work to be their brand ambassador. You should not be coughing up any money, because at that point you're a customer. You're a customer. You being a brand ambassador or influencer for someone is literally you helping them market their brand. First of all, their brand should be up to par for you to market with them, because what business owners don't want to admit is that you can have an influencer that has a good following and good engagement and fits your brand. If your brand isn't all together, you're not going to see the results that you want. So you can't blame the influencer. And basically, to make a long story short, before we were getting like collabing together, I kind of had to like convince her, like, I was worth it. And once I realized that I had to do that, I vowed that I would never do that again. You being an influencer, you doing what you do as a content creator, you do not need to convince anybody that you're worth the investment. Because let me tell you something, these motherfuckers will pay for Louis, Gucci, Prada, Fendi, Telfar. They're gonna pay for all that full price. But when it comes to their own, they're gonna try to, they're not. No, hell no, don't. It's not worth it. And the wig it was cute. It was cute, but like, for me to go out of my way to, get my hair done and, basically promote your hair, and you don't pay me. She paid me half, and then tried to basically tell me she paid me half, but she didn't pay me the half until I received the wig. Like, at that point, I should have just refunded her then. But I was like, you know what? I'm about to provide some bomb content for your brand. I'm gonna make you eat your words for real. And again, never convince a brand that you're worth it, because they ultimately found you. So clearly you got something in you that they seen
that made them want to contact you to work with you. So, she gave me a hard time about that. And the final payment needed to be submitted once I got my hair done. But I wasn't posting the content until she paid me. And mind you, she had already told me from the weekend before that she would pay me the day I got my hair done. Now it's the day of me getting my hair done and you're not paying me.
Not to sound like a bitch or nothing, but don't seek out an influencer and waste their time, because vice versa. If I was a paying customer wasting your time, you would have probably threw a fit. But the fact that you saw me clearly seeing the potential that I had to make your brand grow, you didn't take that serious. It was a mess. Like, a freaking mess. A mess. I still got that wig to this day. The wig is horrible. I can't even wash the wig without it shedding super, super bad, which is why once it came off, y'all haven't seen me put it back on. I've attempted multiple times to put that wig on. That wig is horrible. So, like I said, lesson learned, just never try to convince yourself, or never convince somebody of your worth. Because if you have to do that, then they're not worth it. That's their loss. I do what I do in good faith and integrity. I do not play about what I do. And I love what I do. I love seeing different business owners of color in their bag, doing what they love, doing what they're passionate about. And it inspires me because, you doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. We doing this shit together type shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, February, March, kind of where my depression started to end, but it picked back up. March, to make a long story short, I cut everybody off. I didn't say a word to anybody. I didn't go back and forth. I didn't send a text. I didn't bother explaining myself. I just cut everybody off. I cut everybody off because I just felt like at this point in my life, I'm already going through enough that nobody knows about. I'm literally fighting a silent battle that's literally trying to take me the fuck out. And I have people around me that are just blatantly disrespecting me in my face and just not valuing the friendship that I thought we had. So everybody had to go. I went to Atlanta by myself. That was depressing. I went to Atlanta by myself. I went to Pain the Champagne, which was an event hosted by Glamazante, Lily Yours Truly, and Sadiddy Des. I met my faves, and that event alone was so powerful. I feel like I talked about this on YouTube. I did. I posted. I don't know if I talked about it in the vlog, or I can't remember, girl. I smoke a lot. But that event was so life-changing, and I can't say much because I did sign an NDA, but I will say this. That event made me realize that I am in the perfect place to start over and maneuver myself as such, and to get rid of anything around me that wasn't serving me, whether it was a friendship, whether it was just bad habits, or just anything that I felt like wasn't feeding my soul and wasn't getting me out of the situation that I was in. It had to go. It had to go. And one thing about me, I'm never scared to start over. I'm never scared to make a mistake and learn from it and then attempt to do it again. I'm not afraid to start all over from scratch and resume my life. I've done it so many times. It's like I'm immune to it at this point. Like I'm built for it. Like my body is so used to that. So the fact that that event was so life-changing, my mind immediately changed. Like from the moment I came home, I just started doing shit. I got on my shit. I was planning stuff, making shit happen, making shit shake. And, I was on a high. Like I just felt like everything was happening for a reason. Like I was coming into a new season. Like I literally felt like a chapter of my life was closing. And when I seen that that's what that was, my depression started to subside. And it felt so good that I was no longer in that dark place. Like me being in Atlanta alone, just experiencing what I experienced. I met some amazing people on that trip. My Uber drivers were amazing. And I need to do a story time about that. That's another story for another time. But I just, despite how it ended up, I literally had the time of my life. And I love Atlanta. Atlanta loves me. I love Atlanta so much. I can't wait to be out there, I swear. But that's just when I knew, like, I'm not going to be depressed forever. Like, this depression is going to end. It's going to end. It's going to die out, and I'm going to be done. So, after cutting off everybody, we did get a little lonely. Not gonna lie, but like I said, I'm so used to kind of being alone. It shouldn't be a thing that I'm used to, but at the same time, um, I just started to, realize that now that I'm older, I'm not gonna keep friends or friendships that I've had for 10 plus years and forward like I did when I was a kid. Like, me growing up, I've always had friends. I've always had friends and literally cliques of like 5 to 7 bitches. And as I got older, that clique shit started to subside and just started to be, me and someone else, or me and a couple people, or me and this, like, but it would never last. And that just let me know that, I'm growing up and stuff like that. You just gotta enjoy that stuff in that moment. So, now that I have mastered this art of being alone and functioning without other people, I just started to soar. Like, everything started to change. I started to get crazy brand deals. Like, I was still working with Shein. I had scored a perfume sponsorship that I didn't even get a chance to promote because I was so depressed. I was blessed to have the opportunity earlier this year to create a fragrance for women. I'll link it down below somewhere so y'all can cop it if you would like. I created my own perfume and I didn't get a chance to like promote it or anything because I was so, depressed and sad, which sucked because it was like, I never ever thought that I would be able to create my own fragrance or this brand will want me to, have them a part of their platform. It was just, a nice thing to experience. What else? Reb Dolls reached out to me. I'm kind of sad that that fell through, but Reb Dolls reached out to me to work with them for this collaboration with one of my favorite plus size influencers, but it fell through because my caseworker through them had no longer worked there. So it was all just a mess. They never got back to contact me, but who knows what'll happen with us in the future. I would love to work with Reb Dolls again. I just started to go crazy with my craft and different things and stuff like that. And yeah. So March, April, and like I said, this was 6 months, over 6 months. March, April, after I came home from Atlanta, I felt like I was going back into my old ways of depression, but it just didn't feel like depression. Like, I actually started to, stop sleeping in, and I started to get up earlier and do more in the morning. Like, and that was so unlike me because I'm not a morning person. I've never, ever in my life been a morning person. And the fact that I was starting to get up at 9 a.m., I would cry if you told me that I need to get up at 9 a.m. to do something. I barely wanted to get up at 6 a.m. to go to high school, let alone 9 a.m. to get up. What the hell? But I said, in order for me to grow, in order for me to get that lifestyle I want, I have to make change. And that's something I realized when it came to my depression. When I was done, sulking and being sad and this, like I said, this is my personal experience. I just wanted to fight. I wanted to fight this depression. I wanted to get over it. I wanted to get through it. I wanted it to subside. I was tired of it. So I started to do little shit like getting up early in the morning. I started to smoke a little less. I would take my breaks more frequently. I would do stuff that made me happy, like get back on TikTok and talk. And I kept going viral on TikTok, and I couldn't even enjoy that because it's like I'm depressed and I didn't want to celebrate anything. So yeah, that was how my depression went for 6 months. And I realized that once I started to get back into my ways, I needed to strengthen my core and I needed to strengthen my routine and really be in the routine. I need to be the routine. I be in the routine. So, here we are in June. It's the beginning of a new month. I've already been blessed with another brand deal, and I made some passive income money with this new digital product that I'm offering for TikTok. And it's just like every time I get blessed, I always remind myself, like, this is just the beginning, and to keep going because, there is light at the end of the tunnel. It might have seemed dark. The tunnel might have seemed hella long, but it subsided. And throughout this whole experience, I was also in therapy, which was hard because the last time I went to therapy, I was probably 18. I had went to Rowan College of Gloucester County RCGC, which is now known as RCSJ, which I think is dumb. And since I was dually enrolled as a high school student in college facility, they offered counseling to us. I had counseling once with their Black therapist, and I literally remember I broke down crying so bad. I was so miserable back then. And here I am now that I'm older, just feeling the same way. And I just want to thank my therapist, because if it wasn't for her, I promise you my depression probably would have gotten worse and I wouldn't have seen the light at the end of the tunnel. What I loved about my therapist was that she held me accountable through my darkest of times. Like, I'll never forget one session I went to her and I was just crying. I was literally crying uncontrollably, and it was silent. And the fact that it was silent when I was crying, it made me cry harder. Like, I had somebody that in a long time that I could just cry to, and I didn't have to hear anything, or it was all about me for once. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like when I express myself to other people, they make it about them. And I feel like I can do that too sometimes, which is another thing therapy also helped me with. Like, therapy really broke me down in bad ways, but it also broke me down in good ways, because like I said, the main thing that I wanted to really master after this storm was over was accountability. I talk about accountability all the time, and I knew that I was taking accountability, but I knew that I could take my accountability a little bit further than what I was taking it. And because I took it there, that's where the tears was coming from, and all that pain and suffering and all that hurt. Like, that was a lot. I'm surprised I'm not crying right now telling this story. That's how you know that I've kind of that's in my past now. But man, remembering back when I first started therapy in October, when all this started, is so crazy, because I was so broken, y'all. I was so broken. And the fact that I maintained to do what I was doing in those months of depression is wild as fuck, now that I think about it. Like, I'm a fully functioning depressive person attempting to do this, and this, with no moral support, no family, no nothing. And those that were checking on me and talking to me during my depression, I just want to thank y'all. I really genuinely want to thank y'all, because little did y'all know, y'all saved my life. The conversations that we would have, the smiles that y'all would put on my face, and the laughter that would come out of me here and there, which wasn't an often thing. And everybody knows I'm funny as fuck. I'm a goddamn comedian. And in those 6 months, I can't tell you how many times on one hand that I actually laughed whenever I did laugh. And that's hard to say, because I'm a comedian. Like, that's what I do. So, if you were talking to me during those times of me being at my lowest, I just want to thank you, because y'all gave me something to look forward to. Y'all pushed me, and you helped me in more ways than one. And to my therapist, Colette McLean, this is probably the only name that I'll mention in this podcast. I genuinely want to thank you for getting me out of a dark time, taking the time to listen to me, taking the time to understand me and understand me, because I was so broken. I was such a broken soul that my soul was always crying. When I was depressed, I felt like I needed everybody's attention right there at that second. And that's not how the world works. I knew that. But that was my depression talking. I felt like I needed people, which is why me mastering the art of being alone was so hard, because I've never been without. I've never not had friends. I've never not had a group of friends. I got lonely sometimes walking around campus by myself, but I always held my head high, because once I mastered that, you couldn't tell me shit. Yes, I'm going to walk in a room by myself. Yes, I'm going to go to this college event by myself. Yes, I'm going to do this by myself, because I don't need anybody. Now, I am learning that, you know, that being alone is good and bad, but I'm learning the good part about it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know nobody should be alone. I know it's not normal to be alone, but for the time being, coming from somebody that never knew how to be without, I've mastered that. And I just want to thank my therapist so much. She was a Black woman, by the way, as well. And I feel like when you are in need of therapeutic sessions, it's important to have skin folk to, you know, give you that. I couldn't imagine me opening up the way I did to a white woman. Just saying. But yeah, y'all, that's how I overcame my depression. And I'm doing a lot better now. I'm still consistently getting up early in the morning. Today, I started my yoga, and I got back into meditating a few days ago. So I just feel so relaxed. I feel so, I don't know, healed. Like, I feel like a new person. Like, after doing yoga today, I was just like, wow, like something as small as stretching literally just set the tone for my entire day. And here I am telling my story without crying, without stopping, without, you know, feeling bad or just being upset. Like, I can confidently tell my story and live in my truth because this is what it was. And for a long time, I never thought I would be able to tell my story without crying, because me being depressed, I was so hurt. Like, it was so much shit that was going on. I was literally fighting a silent battle. And that's why they always say, check on your strong friends, check on your funny friends, because we be going through it. And it's not to take away from anybody else, but it's true. We be going through it. So I love you guys so much. And if you guys are currently battling depression or any type of mental disorder, I'm here to tell you it does get better. And that sounds so fucking cliche, but it's true. You can't, after a while, like I said, for me personally, it was just, I'm tired of feeling like this. So I took the strength that I did have and I just started to fight it. And I went through it, I dealt with it, and I was getting over it because I had therapy as well to help me. Therapy is such an amazing thing that needs to be taken advantage of more often, because you might think you're healed, or you might think that you're not having any trauma going on, but sit in front of a therapist. I promise you, how you stood in front of that therapist when you first got to them, you're not going to leave standing up by the time you leave. You're going to get so broken down, and it might seem bad at first, but it's needed, because oftentimes we hide shit like trauma. We block shit out to where you really just genuinely don't remember shit. And I don't want to live like that. I've already dealt with enough of my 23 years of living, and I always said in the next 23, I'm going to live my life for me, and I'm going to live it healthily, mentally, physically, and emotionally. I'm not going to pick up or partake in these old habits that aren't serving me, that aren't doing me any good, that should have never become a habit in the first place. So, you know, what I do now as far as having a routine is really helping me stay grounded and work towards what needs to be worked on. And I couldn't be more proud of myself, because like I said, that girl that sat in front of my therapist back in October, she's so unrecognizable to me now that we're in June. Like, that was such a broken and hurt soul. And, you know, besides that, I also had to confront my inner child, because it was a lot of shit that I wasn't healing from my childhood. And the fact that I could hug my younger self, oh Lord, I'm trying not to cry. The fact that I could say I can hug my younger self now and just let her know, like, girl, I got this. Like, you gonna be all right. Oh Lord, I said I was not going to do this. I was doing so good. Oh my God. I can hug her and let her know that, that girl, you are a beautiful soul. You always have been. And I hate that you couldn't see that when, you know, when I was that age, but now that I'm 23, I can say that I can see that, and that I can live in that. I can bask in being confident and being mentally stable and turning a new leaf and releasing all of that anger and pain that I've endured. Oh my God. Yes, but yeah, that's how real therapy gets. And I'm telling you, do not wait until it's too late. Do not, I'm telling y'all, do not wait until it's too late. Do it now. Do it right now. Find a therapist, find anybody with a license that is not anybody, but you get what I'm saying. Find somebody that's going to listen to you and break you down, because I'm not going to lie, sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to be broken down to see what needs to be fixed, because I was walking around prior to that for a good year. Like everything was okay. Like I was cool. Like I was fine. Like I'm strong. I got this. Like I'm gonna just take every L that I get to the chin. No, I'm not taking shit to the chin anymore. I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna go through it and I'm gonna release it. Because the moment that I release it, it's no longer a part of me. It's no longer affecting me. It's no longer a burden to me. And I don't want to live my life like that. So like I said, y'all, please go to therapy. It will really help. It will really change your life. And to my therapist, I love you so much. And I know you're probably not going to ever see this, but I just need to get that off my chest. And that's how I overcame my depression at 6 months, y'all. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I fucking love you guys so, so much. I apologize for the delay in this podcast, because this podcast is supposed to be jumping last month, but it was so hard to tell this story. And this was just another story in my vault that I just couldn't not tell and keep putting up. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to tell it, let it go, release it. So yeah, there's that. And this was too raw for TikTok and too long, obviously. And probably too raw for YouTube too, because they would have probably demonetized my ass. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Please take care of your mental health. Reach out to whoever. Get it done. And I will see you guys in my next episode.